So, we are back, and so I'm taking a leaf out of Sargon's book, but it's more similar to Tim Pool's actually, and I really like Tim Pool's content. But as a lifelong Fallout player, and I love the Fallout series. I mean, I did start with Fallout 3, but then I went back and played Fallout 1 and 2. I'm not a big fan of like the top-down isometric style. So it was a bit tricky for me to play the first two, and plus trying to get Fallout 1 and 2 running on a modern computer is like fucking finding a job in the games industry. Anyway, so I've been watching Fallout 76 for a while now. I've been keeping my eye on it, as you might have seen with my Inquisitorial Hitman video where I put on a bad Cockney accent and insult people for about 15 minutes. Anyway, so I watched Oxhorn's coverage of the Fallout 76 event in West Virginia, and there was a few things that he brought up, and I thought, and he actually offered some explanations, and it seems like from this article, and I gave it a bit of a speed read to see if it was copacetic before I actually dived right into it, but there was one moment where he was looking through a vendor and he saw some Brotherhood fatigues, and he went, oh, hang on, like, you know, it's like 25 odd years after the war, what would the Brotherhood still be doing this far east? And it's actually addressed, and Oxhorn's video on it, I'll find it, I'll put it in the description. I love his Fallout content, I love his LA Noire content as well, they need to do more of that. Anyway, so from Emma Kent of Eurogamer, not my ideal rag, but for this'll do. Fallout fans take their lore seriously, and last week, a post suggesting Bethesda had retconned the Brotherhood of Steel into Fallout 76 prompted many to furiously debate the organisation's roots. The discussion stemmed from an in-game note from Fallout 76 which mentions the Brotherhood of Steel's extended involvement in Appalachia, the Fallout name for West Virginia. For many fans, this was problematic, as according to the established Fallout lore, the Brotherhood of Steel should not have emerged from their Californian bunker until around the year 2150. Fallout 76, however, is set on the other side of the country in 2102. As such, the question on everyone's mind was, how on earth did the Brotherhood get to Appalachia so quickly after an apocalyptic nuclear war? Thanks to an Instagram post by Bethesda, the Brotherhood of Steel's presence in West Virginia has now been explained. I would pay good money to see a Paladin's Insta account, power armor selfie anyone, that's a bit normy for my tastes. According to the post, the soldiers who would form the Brotherhood of Steel did indeed reach their Californian Lost Hills bunker in November 2077, a month after the Great War's end. Once the organisation was formed by Captain Roger Maxson, the Brotherhood used a functioning satellite to extend their reach across America all the way to Appalachia. From Bethesda's explanation, it seems the Brotherhood of Steel was able to make contact with the surviving military branch in West Virginia, and used the satellite connection to establish a separate chapter in Appalachia. It sounds like a reasonable explanation, as it solves the travel problem and reveals how the Appalachian chapter was able to establish itself so quickly in the region. Fans on the whole appear to be happy with the explanation, although some argue Bethesda should have created an entirely new military organisation to avoid this whole mess. Most have accepted Bethesda's story, and to be fair, the Brotherhood of Steel's early years are relatively undocumented, so there's plenty of room for experimentation, just like a Fallout Vault, really. Now, that is actually a very, very nice way of summarising it. I'll touch on Oxhorn's video for a second, and because he mentioned somewhat similar to that, but he was going off the Brotherhood fatigues, and he argued that 25 years is a long time, and there could have been Brotherhood expeditions sent out, and Maxson might have been quite enterprising, say, right, we need to extend our reach, so head east, make a beeline towards wherever, find somewhere that's quite prominent, sit down, fucking gather technology. I'm paraphrasing to a horrific degree, obviously, but that was the gist of his thing, and like Emma Kent says here, the Brotherhood of Steel's early years are relatively undocumented, and that's the crux of it, and Bethesda has a very good opportunity to actually expand the Brotherhood of Steel. Now, what I really want to know is if Elder Maxson from Fallout 4 survives, because let's be fair, he is one of the most badass characters, and you can fuck off with all that, oh, he's just a fascist shit. It's like, honestly, there's the argument that you should never judge events in the past by today's moral standards, and I think the inverse is true. You should never judge something in, say, Fallout 4, in like the post-apocalypse, 200 years after a devastating nuclear war in a retro-futuristic alternate universe. You should never judge what they do on our modern today's moral compass, because, and obviously it is created by a game developer, but if you look at it from the perspective of the world, Elder Maxon in Fallout 4 isn't as much of a fascist dictator as you want to believe, because I hold the opinion that what Elder Maxon wants to do is he is fanatic in one goal and one goal only, and that is to preserve humanity. He does not want to see another great war. He does not want to see the human race extinct by their own actions. Now, can you go about it in different ways? Yeah, sure. I mean, not all ghouls are mindless, marauding zombies. Obviously, I'm using the hashtag not all. And they could stand to be a bit friendlier with the communities they steamroll over, but that's an argument for another day. But the crux of this article, and what I think, and to a lot of fans as well, they think, yeah, that is a very good explanation. And yeah, Bethesda could have created a new military organisation to avoid this whole mess, and let's be fair, the Brotherhood of Steel, like their core thing, is to preserve technology and safeguard the human race from ever being so stupid again. Now, is it that much of a stretch to believe that, say, if the Brotherhood of Steel wasn't present in West Virginia, in the Appalachia, could a military group like, say, the remnants of the West Virginian regiment of the US Army or the US Marines or whoever, like Special Forces, whoever, could essentially band together and have a very similar goal? Now, that could be the case, but as far as this stands, I'm quite happy with the explanation that Bethesda has offered. Let me know what you think, and I will catch you later. Alton.